morning, everybody, and welcome to a Sunday sermon. This week, we're going to be honored with the angelic spirit of Archangel Michael, the angel of protection. I'd also like to point out that it's also Memorial Day weekend. I hope that everybody takes time to commemorate our veterans. They're the only reason we're all sitting here today. If it weren't for them, we might be speaking Japanese or German at this point. So I hope that all of you take a moment and focus on all the sacrifices that these men have given through the years. So Michael is here, and let us begin. Hello, everyone. Yes, as I watch from over here, I am astonished at the terrible, terrible violence that takes place in the world today. The wars are terrible. I watch, I try to protect the people, the good, the bad, as best I can. But with today's weaponry, there's very, very little that I can do. It's so sad when I watch hundreds of men being killed at a time. Throughout history, not much has changed with humans. We always preach from this side love and coexistence. And then it seems as though humans go out of their way to take each other's lives. Wars have been a terrible thing, and they've been around forever. Since humans started to use their minds and comprehend what was taking place in the world around them, they've declared war upon each other. Maybe it wasn't always a formal war, but it was violence nonetheless. When people realized that others had things that they wanted, they would often resort to violence to take those items. It's no different today. It's no difference at all. Today, you have criminals that rob stores indiscriminately. You have politicians that think they're doing no harm. They're doing intense harm. The people that are being stolen from. It's not easy living today. Individuals that do violence onto others, they're creating great problems. When the head of a household gets injured through crime, it's terrible. How does that household survive after that? Perhaps the man or the woman that is the person that earns the income from the family is injured that they can't work. There are people that don't consider any of the feelings of others today. As I watch, I try to protect people as best I can. But there are situations in which I'm helpless. Now, yes, there are times that situations are in life plans. Perhaps a person's sent back with a short life plan. You see the way it works? Maybe an individual in a prior life cut a person's life short. Well, in the next life plan, in all probability, that person's going to have their life cut short so that they can understand what they've missed. They'll go to the other side and they'll watch the grief and they'll watch everything that comes with death. A short life plan can be a karma, or it can be something that a person would volunteer for. You see, there are souls on the other side that can see the future. And they can see that maybe a war is coming, and they feel that their services would help the country that they lived in the last time and the one that they love. You see, love doesn't change on either side. When you're on this side, you can love people, you can love your country. It's love of country that makes the country great. Today, you're seeing people in your schools, your colleges, teach the young that this country is not, or the country, any country is not great. We're especially seeing that in the United States today. People are trying to tear down the country because it has been a beacon of hope through the years. If the United States fails, what other country will replace it in the world system? The United States, it does a lot of bad things, it makes a lot of mistakes, but it does a lot of things right. As we watch from over here, we understand that. We try to support the decisions the country makes that is right, and we try to lead the leaders not to make bad decisions. It seems as though the quality of leadership lately has declined. Can you blame anyone for not wanting to run for political office? No. They know that it takes such money, great money, to run for office today. They know that when they're in office, they're going to be mercilessly criticized. The other side, they don't care. They don't care how they hurt a person as long as they think they can have them defeated in the next election. You see, if a really good person gets elected, today it seems like they take a lot of abuse. It seems like the bad people, the poor politicians, the ones that have made great money by having their positions, it seems like they're the ones that last forever. But the good people, they get tired of it. They understand that political office is voluntary, that you don't really have to take that abuse. Today, you do see many young people that are ready to defend the country. You see many young people serving in the military, serving as peacemakers. But they're taking more abuse as well. You see the grand strategy that will destroy any country is to tell lies to the people. You lie to the people and you tell them that there should be no police. Oh, the population will take care of themselves. There'll be no crime. Why do you need police? They're abusive. They pick on the average person. Well, they don't. It is only that through the peacemakers that a civil society can exist. You see, there are many people that don't follow the rules, sadly. There are many that do, and the peacemakers need to protect those people. There are many evil countries today. You know what they are. I'm not going to mention them. They want to see the democracies where the people prosper defeated, because the democracies are a great danger to those countries. They don't allow their citizens to truly know what takes place in a democracy. They don't want them to see the standard of living. They don't want them to see the educational systems that try to prepare an individual for the life that they want. In the autocracies of the world, the educational systems prepare the children for what the government wants. So you see, there aren't really many happy people in those autocracies, but the militaries or the police are so strong. Now, you'll never have that in this in a democracy, because the people have the right to change their leaders. If a person truly elects to be best people, then the people will better be able to follow God's commands. You see, when you hear us talk on Sunday mornings or on the other shows that Barry brings you, we don't speak like you would hear in an ordinary church. We tell you the simplicity of God's words. We tell you to have faith, and we tell you to follow those words. And if you do that, you will be very happy in your incarnate life, and you will be extremely happy when you return to heaven. We tell you that how you live your life will determine your real life, your soul life in heaven. You don't have to rely on anyone to go to heaven because everyone does upon their passing. How they are greeted in heaven depends on how they live their lives, what they do for others, how much love they show, how much they do for the children, for the young. We tell you continuously that the young are the key, that the young are the key to the future. Without an adequately educated young, there will be no future. All of the great civilizations of the world have failed. The common will of the people not to elect the best people, not to have good leadership, to allow people to serve that steal, that rob from the poor, allow the government to overtax, do not allow the people, the common person, to really live, to exist. There are countries today, such as Russia, where they have no running water. They still use outside toilets in the worst of weather. They do this because their leadership has stolen. They've stolen the tax money that should have been used to help the poor, to help the people. As we watch from over here, we are very, very saddened. We've been saddened for thousands upon thousands of years because every culture seems to take advantage of the common person. Does not have to be like that. You can have good leadership. Sometimes the leaders pretend and lie to the people. Or I should say, most of them lie to the people so they can be elected. But there are certain people out there that don't. There are certain people that really truly care. They care about their families. They care about the future. All of you sometimes realize that you cannot truly affect many things in your life. But there are many things that you can affect in your personal life. Your love of God will bring you happiness beyond anything that you can ever understand. Everyone has problems. As we watch from over here, we try to help you with those problems. I will try to protect you from things that go against your life plan. Sometimes events take place and you're in great danger, and we want you to exist for an extended period of time. Perhaps you're doing all kinds of good for others. You're doing what God wants you to do. You're living a great life. You're not rich, but you're sufficiently wealthy, shall we say. And I'm not just talking about money as being wealth. I'm talking about wealth being all of the things around you that bring you joy. It may be simply sitting on your back porch and looking at the mountains. It may be looking at the ocean. But the ability to do that is wealth. That's how I want you to think of it. You've heard the saying, the best things in life are free. Well, that is absolutely true. The wealthiest person cannot create the ocean. The wealthiest person cannot create a newborn baby. The wealthiest person cannot create the beautiful mountains with all the wonderful animals around them. You see, only God can do that. That's what he does. He provides you personal wealth that you never think about. Each morning you get up and you think that, boy, this is a beautiful day. Look at the sunrise. Well, guess who created that for you? God. God does all the things that you really need in your life if you accept that. If you accept the fact that he loves everyone equally. If you accept the fact that you will have everlasting life in heaven, then you will know that as you come close to your ending days, that it is not the end, but the beginning. Death is the beginning. I know on Memorial Day, you honor all of those that have fallen through the years protecting the innocent of your country. The immense number of graves indicate families that were torn apart, wives and children that cried, mothers and fathers that suffered a grief they never felt that they would ever suffer. Each one of those tombstones that you look at in a military cemetery represent a sacrifice that that individual knowingly made for your country. Ask yourself what sacrifice you do in your daily life for people, for your country. Do you try to truly believe that God exists? Or do you have doubts? Do you truly try to elect people? Take time to study. Find out who's lying to you. Do you truly try to understand the political system that controls a lot of your life? Because if you don't, and if you elect people that become dictators, then you will not have as happy a life as you could have. Imagine living in a world where all of the politicians did what was best for the people. There have been times in history that that's taken place, but it seems as though the good are always replaced by the bad. Human greed can be unstoppable. Human greed can be something that destroys civilizations. Why would anyone want to use a weapon of mass destruction when they know that it will bring about their own destruction? Makes no sense. Wouldn't it be so much easier if everyone just loved one another? But that seems to be impossible. There are people that have so much hatred in their hearts that they would kill thousands. There are people that have so much hatred in their hearts that would see countries be destroyed. Do not have hatred in your heart. That is so self-defeating. If your heart is full of hatred, you will never find happiness. Love and kindness lead to happiness. Hatred leads to self-destruction. Hatred puts you in a place that you do not want to be. You create enemies because your hatred will show. You destroy your own family because the hatred comes out in you. Do not show violence or hatred to your children because they will learn from it. Live a good life. Understand the sacrifices that many others have made for you. Understand the true path to happiness through God. God should be something that you do not just think about on Sundays. He should be revered every moment of your life. God is the true answer. There is no other. God is the light that will lead you to heaven. When people have near-death experiences, they all talk about seeing the light. What do you think that light is? Do you think that somebody has a floodlight up there that they shine after you die? No, that is the light of God. He is leading you to heaven where you will have an incredible experience if you lived a good life and followed his words. God is all powerful. God can do anything that you want. God can lead you to happiness. He can lead you not to fear death. He can lead you to serve your families and your country. You see, God is always the answer. People that don't believe in God never have the answer. They may think they do, but their feeble minds have not comprehended the greatest idea that has ever existed, and that is that if you believe in God, all will be well. So I thank you so much for listening to me this Sunday morning. I truly appreciate that people take time to do that. Commemorate the fallen this weekend. They have died for you, and there's no other way to explain it. So goodbye, and I thank you so much. I'll be back again sometime when Barry decides, but check in with him every Sunday and tell your friends. It's a great service to others. Goodbye. Great message this morning, folks. They know a lot more than we'll ever know while we're on this planet. So follow their words. And don't fear death. I don't. And I hope that you don't as well. Goodbye. Have a wonderful holiday. Commemorate those that have fallen. And we'll speak again next week.